There was very real concern that this species was going to go completely extinct, and so the goal was to try to get this breeding program off the ground as quickly as possible so that we could be releasing butterflies to those last sites where they're still hanging on. I think the thing that interests me most about butterflies is just how they're a major part of the ecosystem all the way from the caterpillar to the adult butterfly, and they each have a different role within the environment. They're really good indicators of what a quality environment is, and so when we see butterfly populations declining, it's not just the butterflies that are declining, but it's probably all of the species that are found with those butterflies. The Poweshiek skipperlings have a very unique life cycle where they can remain a caterpillar for a very short period of time or a very long period of time, anywhere from several years in the caterpillar stage. And then they've usually lived very short periods of time as an adult butterfly, where their main goal is just to reproduce and carry on that next generation. These species that we work with here at the zoo are found in this very special type of habitat called prairie fen. A prairie fen is a very specific type of habitat that is influenced by a groundwater component. It's very hot, it's very humid, it's dominated with lots of grasses and sedges. And so what we're using here is this hydroponic bin that's filled with water that their host plants are sitting in. That water increases the humidity, and so we've actually been able to help kind of create that prairie fen dynamic right here in our own facility.
The Poweshiek skipperling is only a butterfly for about 2 weeks out of the year, which means that all of the work that we have to do occurs in about a 2 or 3 week period of time. But it's not just the Poweshiek skipperlings. We've been asked to work with Mitchell's satyr, and just this year we're starting to work more with Karner blue butterflies. These are all butterflies that are in trouble, and Michigan is a stronghold for it, so we're the perfect place to help save this species.
It's really important for us to mark all of the Poweshiek skipperlings that have been raised here at the zoo before they go out into the wild. What we do is we temporarily anesthetize them with isoflurane. It's very safe for them, but we have about 30 seconds to that 1 minute mark where we have to get the marks on them before they start flying around again. When our partners at Michigan Natural Features Inventory are out doing their standardized surveys, they need to know if what they're seeing is something we just released from the zoo or if it's something that's a wild butterfly. And so what we're really trying to do is track those wild butterfly populations over time.
It may not be obvious why one little tiny butterfly disappearing is important, but it's a big part of a bigger system that helps support all of us here.
Butterflies right now are facing a lot of threats that are bringing rare species like Poweshiek skipperlings to the brink of extinction, but even the most common species are declining. A lot of butterflies are specialists that require a very certain type of habitat. And so when you take that habitat away, inevitably you're going to lose those species that depend on it. Many rare, threatened, and endangered species like Poweshiek skipperlings depend on prairie fens for their survival. And we know there's less than 1% of the remaining prairie and prairie fen habitat on the landscape now than there used to be. In fact, the vast majority of the prairie fens that exist in the entire world are found in southern Michigan. We've also seen an increase in the use of pesticides. We're also battling climate change, and so unfortunately there's a lot of pressure against butterflies right now. We probably got about 10 or 15 more butterflies after today that need to go out, so we'll probably do 3 or 4 more releases over the course of this next week.
Yeah, and we've done about 1,100 butterflies so far this season.
Yeah, I think we put probably 400 or 500 out to this preserve now, so should give them a good chance of being there next year.
Yeah. When we first got involved just a few years ago, this was a species that was literally on the brink of extinction. And now today we're going to get to watch these adult butterflies that we propagated here at the zoo getting back out into the wild. This is the sumac we need to warn people about.
This is poison sumac right here, don't touch.
It's got the smooth bark and the branches that are up high, the red stems. And then this thing is thorny, you just don't want to touch it.
So we're gonna open this enclosure here. The male and female Poweshieks will come out. This black-eyed Susan is one of their favorite nectar sources. There they go. It's remarkable how good they are at finding those flowers.
I know.
Without conservation efforts like this, there wouldn't be these habitats where these species can thrive. And so working with partners from the Nature Conservancy, working with other land managers, helps habitat for Poweshiek skipperling, but also for all of these other rare, threatened, and endangered species that can be found in these very same habitats.